Is Tom Brady actually talking to himself here?
Tomlin said, pressure doesn't sack Tom Brady. You have to get there with 4, and now he is fired up talking to his offense on the sideline.
Look at this guy. He gets sacked 2 times, and he starts yelling at his backup linemen like they're peasants. Hey, Tom, aren't you the guy who missed practice on Wednesday, and then again on Friday to go to Robert Kraft's wedding? An 81-year-old man's wedding? Brady's career is going to last longer than that marriage. Another week, and we saw NFL officials call penalties for everything, except for this. This has to be a penalty, right? We got taunting. Well, how about tainting? Imagine if this had concussed poor Mitch Trubisky. I am Brandon Perna. This is the best and worst of NFL Sunday Week 6 edition. I'll recap the best players, best games, best moments, best whatevers, and you will like it. And don't forget, Tom Grossi and I will be streaming Broncos Chargers tonight, so come back for that action. That's good. Sports. I know I don't seem like it, but I am desperate for your attention, so please subscribe here. Today's episode is sponsored by Upside. Inflation got you down, more like deflation, right? Is your 401k looking more like Special K? Well, I can't fix that because I'm not an investor nor an economist, but I can help you get a little cash back for your everyday purchases. Upside is an easy-to-use app that gives you chances to earn cash back on groceries, gas, and dining out. I've been using it when I go to the grocery store, and I've earned enough cash back that I don't feel so guilty when I go and get that premium bottle of scotch after my trip to buy diapers and food. So download the free Upside app in the App Store or on Google Play. Use my promo code GOODSPORTS and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. All you do is check in at the business, pay as usual with a credit or debit card, and get paid once you're linked up with Upside. You can cash out any time to your bank, PayPal, or with an e-gift card. Just use my code or the link below and get started with Upside, which is an upside. All right, before I get to the best and worst quarterbacks, I've got a list of just a bunch of weird bests and worsts I saw this weekend. Best meal, Scott Hansen eats a salt-heavy lunch before Red Zone starts.
Scrambled egg whites, turkey burger patty, no bun, bacon, extra crispy, extra salty.
7 hours of commercial-free constipation. Best firing of a cult leader? Well, that goes to the Texans for finally ousting Jack Easterby on a bye week. Best teacher's pet? Brendan Schooler looking like a schoolboy trying to give teacher an apple. Bill Belichick looked like he was being offered an unwashed turd. Sorry, Brendan, but if you want to make Coach happy, that gift better be a severed Tom Brady's head if you want to see your coach crack a smile. Best punt? Well, that belongs to Ryan Wright, who bombed a ball 80 yards at sea level in Miami. He truly is a Wright brother because he looked like he invented flight on this kick. Am I right, kids? My worst moment? Justin Tucker missed a 56-yard field goal. That's not supposed to happen. The doink on this one was tremendous.
Hits the post!
It was as if the goalpost was shocked that Tucker missed too. Best childish moment? Well, that goes to Corey Littleton for mocking Allen Robinson while he complained to the ref. Unfortunately for Corey, Robinson got the last laugh in this one. The Rams won and A-Rob caught a touchdown. If Littleton really wanted to mock Allen Robinson, he should have just shown him his stat sheet for the season. Best pigeon on the field goes to this pigeon on the field. Sadly, this cannot compete with baseball goose, but I do respect the way this official politely ushered the pigeon off the field. I was a little surprised Tom Brady didn't try to kick it. I was going to make a Marlon Brando on the waterfront reference here, but most of my 80-year-old demo died at Robert Kraft's wedding. Worst camera work? Well, that goes to CBS for making me extremely seasick on this kickoff. This is what happens, though, when you let Christopher Nolan direct a football game. You got that movie reference, right? Best Renaissance moment? This picture. It almost looks like they put Kirk Cousins' face through the sad filter like PFF did to Russell Wilson. The way Cousins is tattling here makes me think Brendan Schooler is his best friend. Art, but make it sports. By the way, one of my favorite Twitter accounts to follow right now. So here we are, best quarterback. My best QB of the weekend goes to Joey Burrow, who really looked like himself against the Saints, totaling 325 yards and 4 touchdowns in the Bengals' victory. Burrow showed up wearing Jamar Chase's game jersey from the 2019 BCS championship game, which LSU won in the Superdome. Those two connected for 132 yards and a pair of touchdowns, while Burrow added a slick TD run of his own. Chase had his 6th 50-plus yard touchdown in his young career, and since he needed all of their 30 points to stave off the Saints. This must have been a really conflicting game, though, for LSU fans that also root for the Saints. I did have Marcus Mariota as runner-up here, just one incompletion for Mariota. Sure, it's only 14 attempts, but he did throw 2 touchdowns, and whatever the Falcons are doing, I sort of like it. And Atlanta, please, just use these uniforms and helmets permanently. They are so much better than your current ones. Go to the throwbacks. Now, do it. Worst QB? Well, this is going to old Kyler Murray, who could only muster 3 points against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Arizona got its lone touchdown off a blocked punt as Murray proceeded to cough the ball up on a fumble in Seattle territory after a nice run, and threw another pick to rookie corner Tariq Woolen, who secured his 4th interception of the season. He's looking like a stud. Let me check something really quick. No, it is not Call of Duty Double Experience Weekend. No excuses for Kyler this time. Geno Smith finally looked like Geno Smith, taking 5 sacks, throwing for less than 200 yards and 0 touchdowns, and a passer rating not in the high hundreds. And yet, Seattle still kicked the shit out of the Cardinals. Best individual performance, my BIP award this week goes to, well, I thought about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who had 2 picks in prime time against the Cowboys in a game where he hurt his hand. Pretty impressive. Tyreek Hill had 177 receiving yards most of the weekend, but give me Breece Hall, who was the only back in the league to get more than 20 carries and average over 5 yards per. He had 5.8 and a touchdown with a long of 34 yards. Hall led my biggest surprise, the Jets not just beating the Packers, which we thought was possible, but just dominating them physically. I do worry, though, that all NFL head coaches like to drown people for fun.
Keep taking them down to deep water. They'll find out they can't swim.
We'll tread water as long as it takes to bury you.
Best moment? After playing out of his mind against Aaron Rodgers, corner Sauce Gardner put the cheese on his head and took a stroll around Lambeau Field. Well, until Alan Lazard rolled in and knocked the cheese right off his head. The cheese stands alone. This is the worst thing to happen to the state of Wisconsin that won't turn into a Netflix true crime series. Best offense? This belonged to the New England Patriots, who were road dogs going into Cleveland and came away with a 23-point victory in the dog pound. Bailey Zappi was near perfect, throwing for 300 yards and a pair of touchdowns, while Ramondre Stevenson added a couple more scores. Rookie Tyquan Thornton, the speedster, also found the end zone twice in just his 2nd career game. Bailey Zappi may be trying to earn the "I'm coming for your job, bitch" award, as he looks like the real successor to Tom Brady, while also looking like the guy we thought was the successor. Best defense? Well, the best D goes to the Buffalo Billies. Yes, they allowed 20 points, but they denied Kansas City on 2 crucial possessions. Rookie corner Kaiir Elam, who's kind of struggled this season, got an end zone pick. Wasn't just a pick, he wrestles the ball out of the Chiefs receiver's hands before they get to the ground. Really impressive. And Taron Johnson shut the door on the Chiefs at the end of the game in the final possession with the Mahomes pick. And as always, Von Miller was a wrecking ball, a Miley Cyrus, if you will, and picked up a couple sacks. and none of them required any tripping, Chris Jones. Congrats to Vaughn on finally beating Patrick Mahomes. Vaughn's sacks and pressures were huge, but his best play was this run stop. That's just Hall of Fame talent right there. You cannot stop that man. A runner-up for best defense might have been the Seahawks, who did sack Kyler Murray 6 times in that game. My Benchwarmer Brew Player of the Week, benchwarmerbrew.com, that's where you buy my coffee. Prices are going up, so you better subscribe now and lock in that cheaper price. Is going to Mitch Trubisky, coming off the bench in Pittsburgh and playing better than Kenny Pickett in this game, going 9 for 12 for a $144 and a TD, plus leading a game-ending drive after Lenny 2 net yards per carry got the Bucs to 18. The Steelers defense stopped them cold on the 2-point conversion attempt. Same thing the Broncos did to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Now Mitch kept moving the chains while Tom could do nothing but watch his team lose from the sideline. And it was all Tom's fault. Who dat? Award? Saints receiver Rashid Shaheed with the speed. He joins the rhyming name club alongside Will Hill and Aqib Talib. Worst moment? Well, let's go into Robbie Anderson and the Panthers. Interim head coach Steve Wilkes had to tell Robbie Anderson to hit the showers in the middle of Carolina's loss to the Rams. Either Robbie Anderson has the worst BO in the NFL, or he was just being a dick. Anderson has been clearly unhappy for a while and will likely get cut or traded sometime soon, but you can wait until after the cameras are on to voice your displeasure with your coach. No wonder he added that I to his name. He only cares about himself. Worst finish? Well, I have 2. The Dolphins versus the Vikings is the first. Not a good game, which is what happens when all of your QBs are hurt and you play the Vikings. The worst individual finish? Jalen Waddle fumbling with 4 minutes left in the game after making what could have been a game-changing play. He had a ball that bounced through his hands and led to a pick earlier. This pretty much sealed Miami's fate against the Vikings. The Finns have now lost 3 in a row without Tua, squandering that 3-0 start. The other worst finish goes to the Ravens. The Ravens had a 10-point lead in this game with 6 minutes left. Daniel Jones throws a touchdown to the unguardable Daniel Bellinger. Then the LaMarvelous Miss Jackson saves a bad snap, recovers the fumble, only to throw a horrible interception on 3rd and 6. You gotta throw that away, Lamar. The Giants erase the Ravens' lead with a leaping touchdown from one Saquon Barkley, who should be considered an MVP candidate at this point, with plenty of time left on the clock. And all of their timeouts, Lamar Jackson fumbles the ball, strip sacked by Kayvon Thibodeau, who gets my best play of the weekend, and the Giants recover. Also, Saquon Barkley could slide down right before the end zone and run out the clock. It's also worth noting that Thibodeau called his shot a little over 3 months ago when he did a Reddit AMA and was asked which QB he was looking forward to sacking the most. My best stats from the weekend? Aaron Rodgers loses at home for the first time in 16 games. Tom Brady lost to the Steelers for just the 4th time in 16 games. Tom Brady lost to a rookie QB for the first time since 2013 when Geno Smith bested him. And Lamar Jackson lost to an NFC team for the first time ever. My worst stat? Myles Garrett becomes the Cleveland Browns all-time sack leader. But not really, because they didn't track all of the sacks one Clay Matthews Sr. had. Also, when you consider that Clay Matthews' best sack was probably the sack that produced his son Clay Matthews Jr., that's even more sacks he's responsible for. Worst game? Well, we got to go back to the Bears and Commanders on Thursday night. 19 combined points, but unlike the Thursday night football game the week before, at least we got a couple touchdowns. If you too were disgusted by this slop fest, may I interest you in my Justin Fields episode that discusses whether or not Fields is ready to be considered a bust. And finally, the best game. Well, the best game, as we all expected, took place in Indianapolis. After acting like they were allergic to the end zone for most of the season, the Colts scored 34 points thanks in part to 3 touchdown passes from Matt Ryan. So you're telling me the Colts are good? Matty Ice completed a Colts franchise high 42 passes. That's right, he bests Peyton Manning's career high in Indy, which was 40. Did everything finally click in Indy, or are they simply playing the Jaguars? I don't know, but the Jags hung around in this game, and Jermichael Hasty, his second carry of the season was this long-ass 61-yard touchdown run, making me think he should get more than 2 carries every 6 weeks. And in the final seconds of this game, because it was electric, Matty Ice was truly ice, lofting a game winner to rookie wideout Alex Pierce, who defeated the Jags with his first career touchdown. Thanks for watching the best and worst of NFL Sunday. Make sure you come back tonight for the live stream of the Broncos game, and feel free to check out another video if you got 14 to 20 minutes to kill.